Leonie Dawson refuses to be categorized as the podcast. Today I'm going to be sharing with you how I treat books like textbooks and how I study them. Oh, yes. So I was sitting down at the river the other day with my journal and my pens and the current book I'm studying, and I thought I'd just share with you how I study with it. The book I'm currently studying with is The Deep Work by Cal Newport, and I've got a feeling that it's going to be one of those books that will radically transform my year ahead and the years that follow. It's that important and that useful and that profound. I read most of my books usually on Kindle. If they're non-fiction and I need to take notes from it, I highlight them, and then I'll also email myself quotes from it from within the Kindle interface. And I'm reading Cal's digital minimalism book on Kindle along with How to Break Up with Your Phone, and I'm pretty happy with that method for these books. But every so often there's a book that comes along and I just want to suck the absolute marrow out of it. So that's what I'm doing with Deep Work. I started reading it on Kindle and I quickly stopped in order to order the printed book. And I wanted to treat it like a textbook and immerse myself in it. I don't want to read it quickly, and I just want to let it change me instead. I usually don't keep many books once I've finished them. I'll give them to friends or take boxes to charity. But with books like this, I will keep them in my office on a small shelf of books that changed me. So as I'm going through it, I am using highlighters, like a whole bunch of different colored highlighters, and one of those 4-color pens that has all of the colors, and I will take notes in the columns, I will highlight different sections, and I'll even highlight along the side as well, so it's really easy for me to tell on the side of the book where I've really gotten in deep with some sections. And I'm carrying that book around with me everywhere I go, around the house and in my bag. I read it a page or two at a time, and I highlight, I take notes in the margins as I go, and I do the homework if there's any homework. I carry with me that 5-pack of highlighters, and I use those 4-color pens and and the different colored highlighters, partly because I like rainbows, but partly also because when I was in year 12, my boarding school headmistress, hi Trish, if you're listening, love you, told me that she just learned in a study skills course that using different colors can help with memory retention. And I've got no idea if the research continues to back that up, but I've been doing it ever since. And it's a very useful and pretty placebo that I'm quite attached to. I use zebra mild liners for highlighting. They're like traditional highlighters, but more pastel and less likely to gouge out your eyes with neon intensity. I bought those a few years ago, and they were the only pastel highlighters on the market, but I have noticed that Stabilo have brought out a range of pastel ones too. And I am all for it, long live pastel highlighters. I was also thinking to myself that if I'd still been on social media, I wouldn't have shared this. I wouldn't have taken the photos and taken the time to share this because I didn't want to destroy the sanctity of the moment by sharing on social media. Or I would have told myself that I should be sharing something on social media, and I'd taken photos out of grinding resentment and not really shared a long post about it like this though, because 1, Instagram's got a word limit. 2, typing on phones is shit. 3, I hate how the number of comments or likes diminishes both mine and the reader's experience of that work. And 4, here's the big thing that I keep thinking about. Social media has never been the environment for my best work. When I look at what I've created on social media, I don't feel any real creative contentment. I don't feel pride. I don't feel like I've made anything worthy there. But when I look at my blog, I absolutely feel that way. I feel ridiculously proud of the things I've created on there. When I look at my courses and my books and other creations, I'm so ridiculously proud of it. I mean, I fucking love what I create usually, but I don't love it on social media. And so that right there shows me it's not the environment for my best work. And I'm not here to do anything except my best work. Anyway, it's so many reasons and so many feelings, and none of them feel good. And instead of all that resentment and dissatisfaction and limitations, I just thought instead I could blog about this. I could take some nice photos. I can podcast this. I can write as much as I want for as long as I want using my very favorite beloved keyboard, and it will live on my website forever. And it made me very happy indeed. And here's the thing, like, it doesn't particularly matter if you love this post or not, because I'm proud of it and I'm glad that I took the time to write it, and that's more than enough. This whole giving up social media and returning to blogging feels like a reclamation of my creativity. Blogging has always been the best environment for my words and for my explorations. It's fertile ground, and it's expansive and possible and powerful, and it's 100% owned by me. What a joy indeed. So, that's me, my loves. I hope this has been useful. I hope that you're treating books like textbooks as well, the ones that you want to suck the marrow out of. And if there is anybody in your life who thinks could benefit from a little bit of Leonie, please share about my work with them, whether it's my blog or my newsletters or my podcast or my courses, whatever. If you could share it along, I'd be so, so grateful, so I can keep on turning up and sharing in all these beautiful and authentic ways. Thank you, my loves. Okay, have a beautiful day. Bye.